Hello, good afternoon. I'm so glad you guys are here. I know this is not like the most exciting topic and it's a hard topic, right? So if you're in the middle of going through a divorce, um, yeah, it's tough. It's not something fun to talk about. But hopefully today, after you listen and hear what I have to say and then look at some of the resources I have, it might be helpful for you going forward through the rest of the year. We have two big holidays still coming up, so hopefully this can give you some help and maybe a little bit support to make it through. So my name is Anastasia Aruz. If you are new to the group, and I am a therapist, but also I work with families in coaching. And so I like to do these videos just to share some of the knowledge that I've learned over the years and be helpful to people. So if this is helpful to you, pass it on to a friend that might need it, or if you know someone that it could be helpful for, share it. They can join the group. I would love to have as many people as we can that would like to learn. All right, so divorce during the holidays. I actually came from a divorced family. My parents got divorced when I was like 6, and it was during the early 80s. So it wasn't very popular at that point. It was kind of taboo in a way. Most of the people I knew were not divorced. It was very unusual to be a divorced family. We lived in a neighborhood. Everyone around us was married, except my parents. So it was tough. It was a tough thing for my mom to navigate, my dad to navigate, my grandparents to navigate, especially at that time, because it was something that just didn't happen as much. And as a kid, you struggle with that a lot. So I want to talk about today what kids feel like, what adults feel like, just all of it. And I'll get into more of that as we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. So hopefully you can see that. Divorce during the holidays and how to make it for work for you and your kids. So we're going to start with you and how you need a plan for this time of year. If you're in the middle of a divorce, if you're just starting the divorce process, if you're in the middle of a separation, you can go through it not thinking and just being very haphazard about it, but you really need a plan so you can be your best self during the process and your kids have the support that they need. Because if you have a family and they're splitting up, the kids need you. So you're really the one, I've talked about this before, you put your life vest on first, right? You need to be the strong one in this situation so you can support all your children in the process, because it's hard. It's hard for everyone, but it doesn't need to be awful, right? It can be hard, but it doesn't need to be bad. It can be good. You just have to have that plan. So let's talk about you to start with, all right? So you're the one that's the adult. You feel like you should be able to have everything under control. You can handle it. It's going to work. You're angry. Your husband or wife shouldn't have done that. Or maybe they feel that way about you. Whatever it is, you need to be honest with yourself about how you're feeling in this situation. You need to be very clear with yourself, because that's going to guide you through the rest of this process, especially during the holidays. And it might not be easy for you. Maybe you're in the beginning, or maybe it is easy for you because you've been through it and in it for a while. But just be honest with yourself. If you feel like you need additional support, there's always therapy, coaches, there's all kinds of people out there, books, podcasts, I mean, you name it, you can find support. So if you want any recommendations, let me know. I also have some things at the very end. So stick through this and you'll get to see. It's not going to be very long. And you can see some resources I have. All right, so honest with yourself, take care of yourself. You need to be eating healthy, exercising, meditating, taking time for you. Because remember, you're the strong one. You are the life raft. You are taking care of all the kids. So you have to take care of yourself. Plus, you deserve it, right? We're all here for a purpose. We're all here for love and joy, right? So you need to take care of yourself and give yourself the things that it needs and wants. And remember, this isn't a time for feeling guilty. Sure, that is going to come into play, and you're going to have that feeling because you're going to think, wow, these kids should have both of us for Christmas. Or I wish it was different. I hate that this happened. I should have done this. He should have done that. She should have done that. But this isn't the time for that. It happened. It's here. So now you're just going to take it one day at a time and move forward with the process. So that's the next thing. Take it one day at a time. Every day is a new day, and you just start over the next day and you get the ball rolling. And so one thing you can do is journal about it. Journal about your feelings. So that can help you know how you're feeling. Get a journal. They have them at Barnes and Noble. You can order them on Amazon. It's a great way to get started with identifying your feelings. Know that the divorce is a process and there's different stages. So what stage are you in right now in the process? Are you in the grieving part of it? Are you in the anger part of it? Are you past all of that and you're towards the end and you're like, wow, I'm so glad that's all over? What part of the process are you in? And know that there's different stages. Again, there's lots on this. If you Google it, books, all kinds of things for you to understand that. But know there is support out there for you if you really need it, and know what part of the stage you're in, because that will help you whenever things happen throughout the next few weeks during this holiday season. Give yourself permission to do what you need. If you need a night off because you've been with the kids by yourself, your spouse or ex-spouse isn't around, see if you can get a babysitter, or if your parents can help, or send them to a friend's house. Or if you need just a break and you want to take the morning off from work, take a mental health morning or take a mental health day. Be honest with your employer about that. Give yourself permission to do what you need to do so you are your best self for you and for your kids and your family. Make sure that you keep your boundaries. This is a tough time. People are going to be asking you to do a lot of things. People are going to want you to contribute in different ways. If it gets to be too much, know your boundaries, be assertive, share how you feel, and that will help you stay solid in this process. Practice a script. Now this one, so before I do these presentations, sometimes I'll look online just to kind of see what's out there. I thought this was a great one. So practice a script. What that means is if you're new, like this is your first year of the divorce and people are like, oh, how are you feeling right now? Or this must be tough on you this Christmas. Know what you're going to say, right? So practice a script, maybe jot some things down so you don't come across that you're needing too much or that you don't care. So that work goes back to the beginning of know how you're feeling. So practice what you want to say to people during this time. So you're not just all of a sudden just like rambling. So know what you want to say when people start asking you about it. If you have extra time, right? So maybe your spouse or ex-spouse has the kids and you have extra time. What do you want to do with that time? Think about that, right? Do you just want to watch a movie and chill and have a glass of wine? Do you not want to do that? Do you want to get out and be with friends? Do you want to do things in the community? Do something new. Just make sure that you know what you need, right? Maybe you need just a couple of days to do nothing and chill and just write or journal or exercise, whatever it is. But know what you need and what's going to help you be the healthiest. And then be open. You never know what's going to happen this time of year. Don't close yourself off from things. Be open to new ideas, new experiences, because you never know, right? You're starting a whole new stage of life and it can be really fun. So be open to that and be ready, right? Because you never know what's going to happen. All right. Hold on for the next one. All right, the kiddos. All right, so your kids, what do you need to do for them? Be present. So yes, divorce is hard. Yes, it is something that is going to be challenging for everyone. But kids are very, very resilient and they live in the present moment, especially if they're under the age of 7. They are constantly present. They don't really think about the past or the future. They're here with you all the time. So be in the present moment with them. Make sure you're focused on them. You're not on your phone constantly. So just be present with them. Start some new traditions. It doesn't have to be the same things you've done in the past. You can start some new things. You could go maybe on a weekend trip, start some new things with them. Put your differences aside. Yeah, you could be really angry right now, but that doesn't need to be something that's talked about with the kids or in front of the kids. So this time of year, or even after this time of year, make sure you put your differences aside so they can see the best version of who you are. And be honest, right? So this one's hard because sometimes we could say too much or we could say too little. When I say be honest, what I mean by that is that if your kids ask you a question or they heard something, overheard something. Be honest about it, right? You don't want to give them too much. So you're only going to answer exactly what they ask you, but don't minimize it and don't make them feel like it's not really happening. Because that's whenever then they're going to be thinking they're going a little crazy, because they're going to be like, well, I just saw that, or I just heard that. Why is my parent saying something? So be honest with them. So if you were, say you're very sad, maybe it's your first Christmas with this, and you're just really sad and you're crying in your room, and you think your kids are playing, but they come to the room. They're like, what's wrong? You're like, oh, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. I'm fine. But clearly you're not fine because you've been crying. So be honest about it. You could say to them, I was just really sad for a moment. I'm just having a really hard time. Can you give me a second? I'll be out in a few minutes. Now, you don't need to tell them really why you're sad. You don't need to get into a long story, but just share how you're feeling with them, right? So make sure that you're very honest with your kids. Kids know what's going on most of the time. That doesn't mean to overshare, but they see it. They feel the energy. They can feel the tension. They can feel happiness. So be honest about what's going on and don't make them feel like they're not seeing what they're actually seeing, if that makes sense. Keep it simple. Kids love simplicity. They're just as content coloring, playing with their trains, playing video games, building a puzzle with you, as they are about going skiing or going to Disney or whatever it is. So keep things simple for them. The less stress, the better. This is a very stressful time of year, especially like the first few years of a divorce. So keep it simple. And the last one I have there is keep a schedule available. So because of the split families, there's going to be so many different things with both families, right? So have a schedule printed out, maybe like have November and then December of what's happening during the weekends, where they're going to be. Have it be a visual that they can see. And then you could even write on there, going to be at dad's house, going to be at mom's house. This is what I'll be doing. You can make it as detailed or as less detailed as you want, but have it available so they can see what's happening. That's going to help them feel that safety and that security that they need during this time, because it's going to be a little tough. And so you want them to feel safe and secure, which is then going to lower their anxiety, which is going to be that they're going to be happier. They're going to have less behavior problems. They're going to cry less. They're going to feel better about what's happening inside. They're going to be less needy for you. So making sure that they know what's going to happen, right? So that's really, really, really important for them. I know when I was growing up, we would do holidays like one parent one day and whatever. So what was hard, I think, for my sister and I, like what I remember as an adult, is that piece of having to be driving so much back and forth and never knowing where I was going to be. Not that they were doing anything on purpose or doing anything to harm us, but it was just hard. It was hard knowing where we were going to be. At least that's what I remember from me. Now everybody's different, but that was a tough thing that I dealt with. All right. So what kids may be feeling? So they could be feeling all of the feelings: anxious, confused, tired, guilty, sad, overwhelmed, excited, happy, all of the above, none of the above. You don't know, right? So don't put feelings on them. Make sure they're able to tell you how they're feeling, which they will. One of the ones that I wanted to point out was the guilty feelings. A lot of times they will feel guilty because they're having so much fun at one parent's house, and then they feel bad that the other parent could be by themselves, or they want to be with the other parent. They don't want to be where they are. So there's a lot of feelings that are going on during this time of year. So just be very open to hearing what they're saying and listening, being present, because all of those feelings are there. And the more that you can help identify them with them, the better they're going to feel and the more secure they're going to feel. Another thing you can do, and this is all year, and if you've worked with me, you know I've talked about this, is have a chart or something, a feelings chart, especially with little kids that are just learning how to verbalize how they're feeling. Keep it on your fridge or just somewhere, bulletin board, so they can point to it if they're not good at using those words yet. And if you want one, I have one I can give you, so just let me know. But just so you know, there will be a lot of feelings this time of year, and that it's okay. It's okay. It's just part of the process, and that talking about it, expressing it, processing it is good, right? That's all the good things, because you want that out. You don't want it building up to where when they're like 17, 18, they're angry and pissed and having all the feelings, and you're not able to deal with it at that point. So really, really important to deal with those feelings when they're little, when you have control and can talk with them, than waiting till when they're older. And if they are older, they're still having this stuff. So trying to talk with them if they want to, right? It's harder. But letting them have that support for the older kids, that support and freedom to be with friends. If they want a therapist, letting them have that therapist, meeting with the school counselor, just making sure they know all the options that they have and that you understand it's really tough time for them. All right, finally, here's some resources that I really like and I thought I would share with you. So the Child Mind, and this, I'll link this PowerPoint below, maybe not today, but it will get there probably tomorrow. The Child Mind Institute, that's one of my favorite resources. I love it. They have a, let's see if I can click on it and show you guys. It's not coming up. The Supporting Kids During Divorce, great short article on what you can do as a parent and things you can say and just how to deal with it. It's really a good one. It's really quick too, not long. The other one that's really nice is Sesame Street, Dealing with a Divorce. I'm going to show you guys this one really quickly. So this is a really cool website. Can you see it? Hopefully you can. So what's nice about this, Sesame Street is great. And during COVID, I used it a lot because they had so many great resources. But so they have this whole page, Dealing with a Divorce, and they have all of these really cool videos, right? Answering tough questions, tell me about it, transitioning. They're awesome. Explaining visitation. It's such a great website, and I think can be really, really helpful. So that's a great one. The other thing I like a lot is a couple of books that I put here. The Invisible String. This is a wonderful book. And if you've been with me at all, I've talked about this book too. This is a book, a great book for loss. And the gist of it is that there's an invisible string for people that are not in your life anymore or close to you, or maybe not in your house anymore, right? So it is so good, and it's very loving and a sweet, sweet book. I recommend it for death, also for a grieving process. So check that book out. It would be great for anybody. Pets, if you lose a pet, that's another one. That's a great one. Okay, so the other book I have there is called Two Homes. That's a good one about having two different homes, and it's very simple, easy to read. So you can check both of those out on Amazon. Then Co-Parenting 101. If you have a parent, if both of you guys are working together, right, to co-parent, this is a great one to look at and to read. This is on Amazon. And then the next one I have there is Transcending High Conflict Divorce, How to Disengage from Your Ex and Find Your Power. It's written by Virginia Gilbert. She's a psychologist. This is for you if you're in a divorce or a separation that you're not getting along, and it's very high conflict. So this is basically going to be more about you than about the kids, but it's just how to manage the divorce if it's something that's not pleasant between the two of you. So that one can be really helpful too. So I hope this was helpful. If you know anyone that would like to see it, make sure you pass it on. I am also working on my family coaching now. It's going good. I don't have anything right now available, but starting the new year, I do have a couple spots. So if you're interested, feel free to send me an email to learn more about it. I can send you a link to my website so you can read about it too. But yes, I will have some more spots available starting in January. Not a lot because I still have my practice going. But once my practice closes in February, I will be able to do more of that. So just let me know. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know, ask them below, send me an email or a DM in the group, and I'll be glad to answer them. All right, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.